You guys continue to travel with the goblins. I'm gonna let you guys just kind of, there's some things you want to roleplay here with a little bit of travel time. You guys have probably a better part of a day worth of travel left to get to your destination, which you guys were told is a place called Bothild's Lode. So you guys are with the goblins. You don't necessarily have to, like, you can say that, hey, me and so-and-so are gonna hang back and have a conversation. You can talk to the goblins, you can talk to whoever while you guys are traveling, or whatever you guys want to do.
I don't think I have a choice. He's on my back.
Well, we can say that he has to take a break every once in a while because it's uncomfortable being up there on the shoulders of Connery for an extended period of time.
I mean, he's so bony. There's not much meat in it. We don't have a proper saddle for him yet. We'd find a leather worker. Guy will probably be looking over at Calciga at some point on the cart. Then just, well, that worked, but I don't know what we're going to do when we get there because I don't have anything but food in that barrel. And I gave him my only dagger to fool him into thinking we had more of them.
No, I'm no expert, but I think orcs and goblins eat, so we could try trading them the food.
Food will work for a minute.
Everybody loves food.
Well, we could always say that we're there to
Cater?
get orders, get customized orders done for them to make them worthy of Marmalade. And that we just needed to meet Marmalade to know that we would bring the right equipment because we didn't want to insult Marmalade.
By the time you get to meet this character, I'm not going to remember the real name of this character.
Good.
I think lying and pretending that we're trying to be kind or ingratiate ourselves to the magnificence that is Marmalade. I think it'll be fine.
How did it go south last time?
I think you threw your knife at a rock.
No.
And I went after the guy who ran into the forest.
That's because they had already started attacking you all.
It was,
I think.
Yeah, they were getting ready to shoot arrows at you guys. Yeah, they were.
Probably slightly my fault for actually stabbing the one guy first, and then all of you being like, "Oh no, we're not going to stab." And I was like, "Whoops, I already did."
Well,
I mean, if you think we can convince Microblade to go for that,
I think you can convince Microblade to go.
I do have quite the gift.
I mean, I'm pretty good at acting. Like, you know, we've pulled to the trick a couple times, where I am, you know, the little shop girl that takes the notes and does the things,
And didn't we give Motorcade's little friend there some medical aid?
Yeah, after I stabbed him, but he's playing along pretty well right now, Mr. Geyer.
As you say that, Kalsika, like, you catch eyes with the one goblin that you injured who's got, like, bandages, like, wrapped all around him, and the goblin, like, smiles at you and winks. And keeps walking with the beside the cart.
I really like how dumb goblins are, Mr. Geyer. I mean, he at least understood loyalty to friends, because that's how I explained it. He was going for my friends. He thought we were going for his friends, which we kind of were, but he didn't need to, you know.
It seems like all's worked out, and hey, depending how things go, maybe we can bring him with us.
Maybe. It's kind of annoying, though. I look at the one that was, like, riding Connery for the last few hours. I'm like,
I think we could bring back the villain who stole the flower.
I think they care more about their flower than a goblin.
True, but the gods may not. Always good to have the gods on your side.
Yeah. Could always just bring them ahead, too.
Well, this is all assuming we get out of here alive.
Like we always do.
Yep.
Assume, hope for the best, con our way out, run fast.
Make the plan, follow the plan, watch the plan, go to shit. Throw away the plan.
Run faster.
It always ends in run away.
For me.
Make sure you're in front of the elves.
Oh, I don't know if I can outrun Balthus.
He's got all that metal on him.
I could trip him, though. I kind of like him now, though.
I think you just use him as a wall, but...
I think he would let me use him as a wall, though. That's kind of why I like him.
Well, maybe we can get you a papoose and you can put you on the front of him.
A baby Bjorn? You put me on his back, and then he hits in the front, and I hit in the back, and it's... Okay, new plan. Castle gets out a piece of paper and starts trying to draw what this would look like. She can't draw.
And now that Geyer is seeing how excited Kelsey is about this, now he's trying to figure out how to explain this to the craftsman back at Outskirt so they can actually make it out of leather and straps so they can actually make it work.
Have we just invented a battle papoose? Is that what we're talking about here? Oh, fantastic. Some more homebrewing that we'll have to do.
Once again, somehow MG is involved.
Tanumero would be like looking at her blade kind of aimlessly as they are walking. Really just like disappointed about the fact that it got messed up the last time. And she'd probably turn about this and ask, like, do you think this can be fixed at all? How are we gonna fix this?
Well, it's certainly worth a try. I've seen weapons broken, worse than that, used in battle later on after a good tune-up. I think the trick is going to be finding the right tools. I'm pretty handy, but I don't have anything on me. Well, what was that?
Well, it is a crystal blade, so that makes it a little more delicate.
This means, more care, I think, in making sure that it's repaired to its state. It looks like it's a proud weapon, something that should be restored.
From my clan.
Oh, elven origin.
They made it for me before I left.
And it must be pretty important to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of look down at my empty scabbard, just hesitate a little bit, and I think once we get back to Outskirt, we definitely need to get that thing fixed. Now, I have a little bit of skill myself. Maybe I'll see if if I can lend a hand and help put that back together.
Have you seen blades like this before?
Michael, have I seen blades like this before?
I would say probably yes, but the blades that you've seen, like You would be surprised that Numeral was actually like using it, because a lot of times the ones that you saw that were like this were more ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not an expert. I think I'm more an expert in weapons that are specialized in killing. This one seems a bit more ritualistic and, intricate, but I think I could lend some expertise there.
I hope so. I'm gonna need a good knife, and I can't use a metal one.
Oh, that's right. Your abilities. Metal gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah. And she'd like stare at all his armor head to toe.
Yeah, not really one for magic myself. But yours has been quite helpful, and
Well, it's about all I'll have to use now, so let's hope it continues to work well.
One of the goblins.
Trust in your abilities.
One of the goblins overhears a little bit of this conversation and sees like Numeral like holding this broken blade and walks up and looks like it has a very sad. He has a sad look on his face, and he walks up to you, Numeral, as you guys are traveling, and says, "Oh, sorry, knife broke."
Thank you.
And reaches kind of into a pouch and like hands you a little pouch. And it jingles a little bit. And chat just gifted you 10 gold for the Broken Blade Fund, so the goblin gives you 10 gold.
Ooh, very nice.
And the goblin's like, I know how special weapon can be. And then he pulls out his short sword that's rusted and dented and looks like it's just absolutely garbage, and looks at it and smiles. Weapon special.
Yes, thank you.
And slides it, she's it back, and it just walks away.
Amazing.
Weapon looks like it needs some care too.
Yeah. Well, do you think this will be able to help us fix it? This should afford it, right? As she peers in and sees double the gold that she has.
I suspect that'll afford whatever materials you need for a repair. We will get it fixed.
Alright.
In the meantime, trust your abilities.
Do we have any bows anywhere? Maybe I could use a bow and arrow in the meantime.
Sold them all when we went back to town.
Darn.
At least the
I
ones
I kept one.
accidentally stepped on the goblin short bow, so.
I kept a short bow that I'd rather her have something to defend herself. So I will, having heard the conversation, I won't say anything. I'll just shift over and just pass the short bow from off of my own stuff and the few arrows that I have, and go back to sit next to Geyer.
Okay.
Thank you.
My weapons.
No, I'm not great at this, but it might be better than chucking the knife around. That didn't seem to work out so well.
Kalsuka's thinking in her head but doesn't say out loud. You can always just stab him with the arrow.
People roll for knives if I stab people with an arrow.
I would probably allow it.
Now I have to pull up the stats for short bow to put on here.
I'm gonna look back at the goblin that's riding me and you want to do a dialogue too? Everybody else did.
Sure.
All right. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is Og.
Yeah. Og?
Og.
It's nice to meet you, Og.
What your name?
Connery.
No.
No? Doesn't work?
No.
You just call me Con for short.
I like that better.
Yeah. Some people yell it. Con!
He goes, Khan! And everybody just turns around and looks.
See, it works. I've got to be honest with you, Og. Your magic is terrible. It doesn't actually work.
Nah. It does.
Oh, okay. That's why you're...
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
that makes sense.
eye on your back. Magic work.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I gotta talk to a chiropractor when I get back.
What's that?
Voodoo back magic.
Ooh. This magic Og learn.
Yeah.
I
What are you good at?
Subdued the creature.
No, I'm a creature. All right, got that.
Geyer also on this trip is going to be taking out a couple of the skulls that he stole from the crypt
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and trying to clean them.
Okay. Nice.
Trying to make them presentable.
While that's
As offerings for the great.
Kalska would help.
Oh, okay. So I've got a total of 4 skulls, so hopefully me and Kalska can get 2 cleaned apiece.
You guys can overhear this a little bit too, as Og is kind of talking to Khan a little bit upon his back, and says, and is kind of talking, starts a little bit of small talk with him, and says, Bothild's Lode, old mine, got flooded long time ago. Dwarves not smart. Dwarves always keep digging. Dwarves find underwater. Fill mine up, drowned all dwarves.
Do you goblins live underwater then?
No, we have a non-flooded part. Besides, there's terrible creature called the White Death. Serpent live in waters. Eat goblins. Eat you.
Have you ever fought it?
No. Og, subdued creature with magic. Og make creature eat Tog.
Does he point at a specific goblin when he says that?
No, he kind of just points off to the side.
Oh.
Okay. I was about to say, he got better though.
I was like, was he threatening one of his own clan just then? Like, what's happening there?
Yeah, he came out the other end.
Geyer's going to look at this goblin and say, "Can you subdue the creature you're riding and make it eat that goblin?" And point to one of his friends.
Perhaps Og try. Og need more rest before try. Magic is hard to do.
As he says that word, Geyer just sort of shivers a little bit and goes back to what he was doing.
Maladuk make camp at Bothild's Lode. No one dare come there. Dangerous, safe. Safe for Maladuk. Dangerous for He kind of points to all of you.
But why did Masquerade choose there?
Safe?
But you said White Death. Danger.
Danger everywhere. Danger always. Bothild's Lode, safe.
Do you think we'll be there today, or are we going to need to rest?
We'll get there today.
You know, when we met, you were already getting ready for the night, so...
Well, I'm time skipping. You guys will assume that you guys have already had like a full night's rest. So
okay.
if you guys haven't like reset your character sheets or whatever, you guys can reset them. So.
Oh, thank God.
He kind of
killing them on their sleep.
He kind of looks at all of you and says, "Be there soon."
All right.
Og, did you mean that Marmalade picked Bothild's Lode because it was safer than dealing with the dangers of cities and people like us at all times? And that's why they picked it?
That and safe from demon people.
What demon people?
Demon people causing mist.
Describe a demon person.
Oh, I'll not see them.
Okay.
Maladuk knows. That's why Maladuk have us all together. Rallying who's left. Fight against demon people.
You're going to be fighting against the demons?
Maladuk says. That's why Og learn magic.
That was an in-character laugh as well. A little evil. And you said these demon people made the mist? The mist of the Misty Vale?
Mist. One good thing about mist, goblins, orcs can walk around in middle daytime, not hurt us. Normally we stick to shadows, caves, tunnels, underground.
Why?
Sun hurts skin.
Sunlight sensitivity?
My good boy, I sell sunscreen. Why did
You-
you not talk to us about this?
What sunscreen?
Well, it's a lotion made out of beef tallow that protects you from the sun.
What lotion?
It does? It does?
Yes.
Make a bluff roll for me.
Oh my god.
How body like, yes, of course.
That's a success.
I'm gonna make this contested.
Oh.
I'm trying to convince him to beef tallow.
Oh,
You're gonna have them stealing cows
He
now.
believes it.
Yeah, he believes it.
He definitely believes it.
Can Og try some?
Oh, certainly, when we have some time after we get there, I'll whip up a fresh batch for you.
Fresh batch.
Oh, yes, make it as strong as we can.
Yeah. You need help with magic?
No, it's all heat and fire. I can take care of it. Magic may interfere with the reactions.
Oh, no magic then.
No.
You guys continue traveling. Is there any other questions you wanted to ask Og or any of the other goblins, or?
I'm just going into the rations thing and looking for like the fattiest piece of dried beef I can find in there.
Okay.
Oh, you know, big, nice fat veins running through it, so I can start have it right on top for when I need to start rendering it out.
Very nice.
Numeral would ask, how does Maladuk plan to fight these demon people who are causing the mist?
Og kind of looks at you with a quizzical look and says, Og, not sure. No, Maladuk meeting with top generals at Bothild's Lode. Discuss plan.
We may be ending up doing something similar.
Really?
Perhaps we can all help each other.
Maybe Maladuk need help. Maybe Maladuk not need help. Og not know.
Guess we'll find out. What were you all doing so far from the camp?
Maladuk sent us find treasure. Important,
what kind of
special treasure. Old broken treasure.
Did you find any?
No. We got hungry. Distracted. Ran out of food. Robbed outskirt.
Were you the first band to go out and try to find some of this broken treasure, or did you have other groups that did it already and succeeded?
No, Maladuk sent lots of groups out. All over Misty Vale. Find broken treasure.
Do you know if any of the other groups were successful?
Not know. Just coming back.
I guess we'll all find out when we get there, huh?
He kind of like smiles and shakes his head rapidly. Several gaps in the teeth. So you guys continue to travel for a little while longer. And I'll do a little bit of a time skip. And on the map, you guys will be arriving at Bothild's Lode. I'll take the stream over here to the map so they can see where you guys are, and based upon what we have so far. I'll travel. So when you guys do arrive, you kind of started to you're going back into the mountainous regions a little bit, and there's this ravine that the goblins kind of lead you into. And the ravine ends up ending in a rock wall where there's a stone gate. No doubt magnificent in its day. Now it hangs wearily on broken hinges. A faint light seeps through the gate, whose beautiful runes have been destroyed by vandals. Is what you see arriving there. And the goblins seem to be just like walking up there confidently. No hesitation. They're just kind of like walking towards the front doors of this place.
Is the gate look like it? Is it like cracked open at all, or does it look like it can open and close?
From what you can notice, it looks as if it is so broken that it can just freely kind of like it's they can't shut it, they can't like completely shut it, they can't lock it. Like it's that busted that you wouldn't be able to like close it. You wouldn't be the locking mechanisms look broke, everything looks shattered and kind of broken.
So I look like if I steer the donkey and the cart in here, assuming something breaks out and we're trying to run, I could still get it back out.
The donkey and the cart, yeah, could fit through here. Yeah.
Okay.
Not much bigger than what you have. Like if you had like a big stagecoach wagon, it probably wouldn't go in there, but your simple little cart being pulled by a single donkey would have no problem. You guys.
Do the runes on
Oh,
the
yeah.
gate look familiar
Oh, I'm
to
glad.
any of the other things we've seen?
I'm glad you asked. Make a languages roll for me.
Oh,
Okay, let's see. Put a roll on the site to make it do the thing. Oop. Nope. I don't quite.
It gives you a hint of like Dwarven script, but you're not really sure of what all this means.
Casca stares at it because she's trying to piece together all like the stories as we go, and then she just looks really confused and starts paying attention to the goblins and moving ahead.
Everything okay?
She'll just motion to the runes and just kind of shrug like, I don't know.
Do I recognize them at all?
You guys,
I also
anybody
rolled
who wants
for
to roll languages can roll languages
go.
if you'd like.
Somebody with better languages than me. Please
Tanum
go.
rolled.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a success for me.
Okay.
I'm an 8.
Tanumeral, what you're seeing on there is... You see that at one time this was probably just like inscriptions about this particular mine, like giving it details, but Vandals have changed the word Lode to folly. So it's Bothild's folly. It's part of the script. Further insults are carven by what seems to be Dwarven script as well. You can read what it's called. It says White Death's Triumph. It also says Greed's Price. And it also says Glitter Grubber's Folly. Those are some of the inscriptions that you read.
So Numeral would share all that out loud with the rest of the party.
The Og kind of looks at you when you say that, and Og's like, "No, that's not what it says."
It is what it says. Og.
Og, what does it say?
It says Maladuk. Yeah.
Castle
Is
gets
that what
nods
Maladuk
like it's
told you?
correct.
No, Maladuk not say that. Og say that.
Okay.
Castle just nods because she has no patience for this goblin.
The numeral would be pretty familiar with that because she spends a lot of time with her clan like in the mountains and in the cave, so they may have come across some old Dwarven, let's say.
Yeah, old Dwarven
for
script.
an icy reason.
Yeah. You probably would know to numeral that just kind of like looking at it and the way that the script is, this place probably was in its prime probably 200 to 300 years ago. But you can see the goblins just roll right up to the door. They kind of open the gate because it's just like barely on hinges. They open it to reveal this hallway forward. You can see there's an entrance hall, that there are some deep wheel tracks in the stone floor. It gently slopes downward, created by centuries of what looks to be like heavy precious cargo being led in and out of this mine entranceway. Just inside the broken gate is there's a portcullis that's wedged open. You can still kind of like scoot, the donkey can still kind of fit under that part. It looks like this portcullis will not, like, it's like stuck. So it's been stuck for probably quite a while. At the end of the corridor is a gate above, which it's kind of interesting, like above the ceiling sort of like glitters kind of like a starry sky in here. And the goblins just kind of keep on heading down. There's another door at the end of the hall, another gate, that they all kind of just start leading you guys on. Anything you guys would like to do here in this hallway, or just going to follow along?
Do I see anything of interest? Just looking around, seeing if there's anything that sort of piques my interest as we're heading down here.
Well, go ahead and make an awareness roll. As you're looking around, also, you see that the walls are decorated with partially vandalized reliefs of what looks to be a female dwarf in elaborate armor. And it looks like all of the all of the reliefs have been like, it's kind of like, you know how in somebody's yearbook, like they put mustaches and stuff on everything. Like everything has been terribly vandalized. So everywhere that you see this dwarf, like they put like silly hats on her and stuff like that. And it's just, it's kind of crazy. It's just nonsense. And a successful awareness roll. It's dark in here, but you notice that there are actually like little slit kind of holes in the ceiling of this entry hall. And you notice that there was like a little bit of movement coming up from above. It's almost like, as you're looking through, it's almost like there's like these little like peek holes in the top of the ceiling where you wouldn't be able to notice them unless you were really trying to look for them.
Gonna just sort of keep watching for one, and then taking one of Kalsika's arrows as we go through and just go and poke up at it.
Okay. It's kind of tall. Like you're not able to like, even if you fully extend your arm, you're not able to like reach up.
Go right on. What's the holes in the ceiling?
Oh, that's part of our hideout. It's so we make sure nobody comes in we don't want to come in.
Oh, okay. So they're watching us come in now with you.
Yes.
Ah, okay. And sort of hold the there. You mentioned a white death. I got nervous. I was going to try to poke somebody's eye out.
No, White Death not up there. No.
Okay.
But we do have big bull goblin stew. Boils on hot fire. If anyone comes in we don't like, we dump it on their head.
But you throw away your food?
We make more.
Ew.
Probably out of the invader.
Well, I'll have to have a.
We just then eat person we dumped hot food on.
Oh, okay. So you're.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Miss Persuade likes to marinate.
Marmalade has become marinade.
Microblade, Miss Persuade, motorcade, multigrade.
He's been collecting all week. Waiting for this moment.
He's got a computer notepad list of names. Like,
Just wait till I get out of the M's.
Can I do a myths and legends roll for the dwarf lady that's in all the things?
Yeah, go ahead. Wow, look at this.
Again, yay.
Look at Tenumeral actually trying to follow the plot, and I'm just torturing our DM.
Tenumeral here to keep you guys on the rails.
Except for last week when I was buzzed from dinner and distracted.
So you do learn. Well, you would know. This is, and I don't know where you would have heard this before because of your tribe and everything being so secluded.
Well, we do live in the caves in the mountains.
You do,
and like sometimes travel in the underground tunnels through the caves to each other and other tribes. So maybe
word came to your tribe somehow through another dwarven colony or something like that. But Bothild became completely obsessed by riches in the Coomer Mountains, and basically forced her dwarven clan to continue to just dig down, don't stop until you have everything. And rumor has it that some people believe that she was on the brink of like diving so far down to like the netherworld from their myths. And eventually they dug so deep that there was an underground water source, and it broke open and flooded almost the entire mine, drowning pretty much everybody underneath, unleashing this terrible, horrid serpent-like creature into the mine to devour everyone that didn't drown. Bothild, you've heard rumor that she was completely devoured by the White Death, and that's where the story kind of ends.
The New World would share that with the party.
Fascinating.
Okay. So you guys are led to a doorway, and one of the goblins comes up to the door and does like this strange pattern, knock on the door, like boom, 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 boom. And then the door opens, and you hear like happy gasps and "Oh yeah, they're back!" All this like commotion happen from several goblins. I'm gonna take you guys to a different map so you guys can get an idea of where you are and what this is like. So I'm going to bring you guys into where you are, and all these goblins that are with you, and you guys are walking into this chamber that is filled with goblin folks.
Love the odds.
Make sure I get you guys in there. And the goblins are just excited to see one another, and like a couple of them are like giving you guys dirty looks, like surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks for the subscription, Dragon Sushi. We appreciate it.
You said we had to walk in here, so I'm assuming that the cart and the donkey get left outside the mine, like at the mine entrance.
No, you could bring the cart into this area if you'd like to. The cart can fit down that ramp where you went in the entrance hall, because you can tell they had to bring like mining carts out of here anyway, so it's big enough for your cart. But that's up to you.
Probably bring it down to this doorway.
Okay.
And then basically set it up to the side and cover everything up and just look at our little friends and say, is it much farther to see your illustrious leader? I'd rather not be towing everything back and forth.
Little farther. Gotta go deeper in cave.
Gyro will keep bringing it down, especially seeing as the door opens and seeing all these other goblins being like, yeah, no, if I leave it here, they're going to eat my dogs.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them in here. Like, it looks like this is their base. And you've been brought to it right in the middle of it. You guys,
glad we had this idea.
You guys do notice that in this area, this is a very large open room. There's a big headless statue with a double-headed axe raised towards the ceiling. The air in here is cold and dank, and a dreamy haze rests kind of over the room. You can see there's just a massive group of goblins around, and they seem to be just this is where they live. There's like, it's a mess in here. There's like nasty looking bedrolls kind of laying all around, food scraps laying all over the floor, piles of things just like kind of like laying around.
So it's a mess, but it's their mess.
It's their mess, yeah. Mm-hmm.
the axe on the statue, it looks like it's like carved out of stone. It's not like a weapon that somebody placed in the statue.
It's carved, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you're looking at that, also, Geyer, you can see that even though the head's gone, you can see these like 4 thin braids that kind of like fall down over the chest that seem to be reminiscent of some of the relief images that you saw that were vandalized in the entryway before. You're guessing this is the same person, just missing the head. Looks like the head's been gone for quite a long time, by the way the stone is
sort of worn, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shall we continue on? I'd really like to see if we can get our business begun.
Yeah. Oh, we take you to Maladuk. Maladuk, in important meeting. Hope Maladuk don't get mad. But
I'm sure it will be wonderful. We have some bits of food. I'd be more than happy to share as we discuss our business.
Oh, food good. So the injured goblin and another one of those goblins that were escorting you kind of tail off, and they go find like a corner in here. And now 3 of the goblins that escorted you are leading the way further. You guys from the south, you guys do hear some growling. It sounds like a dog or a large wolf.
Connery, come back here. Don't wander off.
But they lead you to the far doorway across the room that is open, and it leads into a tunnel passage that just seems to be going deeper. And I won't put the other map on yet because they're just kind of like walking you through this, so we can just kind of theater the mind this at this point. But the tunnels that you guys get into here, they're cold, damp, they smell real musty and old. The ceiling is high, and these tiny droplets of water form this like ghostly haze that makes it hard to see more than a few meters ahead. And once you get into here, it's like dark. So if you don't have anything to like light your way, the goblins are okay seeing in the dark a little bit, but they even they'll one of the goblins like pulls out a torch and lights it and starts leading the way with the torch.
Looks like Kalsika's torch is in the cart. Some guy's just gonna steal her torch and light that.
Okay, so you got a torch going? Okay. Cool.
I'm assuming we got a little torch holder in between me and Kalsika. We'll just put it right up front between us.
There's also dwarven artwork on the walls that bears witness to the former grandeur of this place. Still very old, a couple hundred years from what you guys can tell.
Covered in mustaches.
This doesn't appear to be as vandalized as the stuff out in the opening. You're thinking possibly that the fear of the White Death keeps a lot of the vandalist folks from going any deeper.
But they're taking us deeper. We've been traveling with them.
To Numeral's assumption is it's not the goblins that are vandalizing the inscriptions. It's other dwarves who are poking fun at Bothild. Which makes you believe that the goblins weren't always here and they might have just recently made this their
set up shop. Yeah.
Okay.
The goblins lead you around a corner, and you notice that the water starts. You see the water that is on the ground now, and in order to go any further, you're going to be stepping into the water.
Do I see any movement in the water?
You don't see any movement. No, it's very Even with torches, it's really hard to see because of the way this mist is kind of formed over the water. It's kind of like when you're driving in the fog with your high beams on, kind of deal.
Mm.
Can we hear anything moving?
Don't
in
do
the water?
that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that's right. Can you hear anything?
Like if the goblins are ahead of us and their boots are splashing in, that's fine. But I'm wondering if there's other sound.
Currently, I would say no. Like you hear like the tiny droplets from the tall roof, like basically coming down, hitting the splashing in the water. You do hear the goblins. They seem to be just like marching ahead, and they're just trudging into the water. Looks like after a few feet, they're like up to their waist, but they're still trudging forward.
I'm gonna rust before this thing's over, aren't I? I'm gonna go right into the water and follow the goblins.
Do you bring your little oil can for?
Yeah.
Bill,
WD-40.
would you rather sit on the cart and I can deal with the water? Doesn't faze me at all.
Oh yeah, I mean ducks would. I mean not to offend or anything, but
Geyer
That
will get
said,
down and let Belthus take his spot on the cart.
I'll
And then
climb up
just-
there.
You ducks
you
get
a-
wet.
Take to it like a duck to water.
Throw some breadcrumbs in there.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Geyer's at home. He's good with this. Now you guys travel what probably seems to be
This water's a bit cold.
40 meters forward. There is like what looks to be like two areas that turn to the right, but it looks like as the goblins pass, they don't even like address those areas. They just like walk straight by. You catch a little bit of reflection of what looks to be like maybe a rock cave-in on one, so it looks like it's like another tunnel that just completely got filled in by a falling rock. You pass a tunnel to your left that looks like it goes down further, and then another tunnel to the right, and the goblins just seem to keep going straight.
Those
Those
tunnels on either side, does it look that they go down, like the ground dips off more and they start digging down deeper?
It's hard to see how deep the water is because of you're just seeing the reflection of the light off the top of the water. You're really just basing it off of you can see the goblins ahead of you and see how high like they're you know, so you'd have to like travel down one of those halls to be able to really tell how deep it is. They lead you to what looks to be it's the the fourth hall on your right. It looks like the hall still goes straight for some time, but then this fourth hall to the right, they turn and start headed that way. And one thing you notice, Geyer, is one of them turns around and says, "Follow us. Our steps exactly."
Define exactly. I have a cart and a donkey behind me.
A donkey cart should probably stop. Donkey cart fall in deep water.
Wonderful. So, I'll just sort of hold up. Let me confer. We'll have to come back with some supplies in a bit after speaking with Remoulade. And I'm gonna come back over to the group. So we have to leave the cart here.
Like I'm getting wet. I'll jump off.
They said we need to follow their footsteps precisely, unless you wish to fall into the deep water. So I don't know if there are stones underneath or what the situation we're dealing with is, but
How far do we have to follow them like this for?
he didn't state and I didn't ask.
To numeral would ask.
Just a little while longer. Down hall, little ways.
Would you say little ways would be more than 6 meters?
6 meters. Maybe?
Guy's gonna look at
Oh.
General. That's a very large number, dear lass.
Og, math is not your strong suit, is it?
I'm trying to figure out
Ogno
if
math.
I can levitate over the water instead of following the goblins exactly.
You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably levitate over the water, but you're just not sure, like...
I can go 6 meters
Mhm.
in any direction, apparently,
Okay.
without expending further
You can see
willpower.
that the tunnel just kind of leads off, and it leads off a good way. So your assumption is it's going to be farther than 6 meters.
Yeah, it's much more than I could probably.
You seem to confuse
levitate.
the goblin by giving like an exact measurement number. They don't really like respond to that.
Looks like it might be further than I could help with.
Don't you lead on? I'm just gonna swim behind you.
Okay, this
Kelsey
way.
said- Kelsey
Goblin
jumps
splash
down
forward.
carefully, and because the goblins are like pretty close to her height, she's staying close behind them because she needs to see what they're doing.
Okay, yeah.
Would it be possible for Geyer to swim along and carry Kalsika?
You don't really need to swim here. It's not.
Well, he said deep water. That's why I'm assuming that I'm just gonna ignore him and just swim in the deep water.
I don't know.
Battle.
That would be tough to do.
I'm thinking, swimming like a duck with my bottom feet just sticking away.
Let's see what we got for swimming. All player characters are decent swimmers. In water, your movement rate is half your movement rate on land. No range attacks can be performed in water, and melee attacks are performed with a bane. More difficult underwater maneuvers like diving or something require a swimming rule. I would allow you to do it if you succeed on a swimming rule.
Oh, okay,
I think that's what I'll do.
perfect. So I have an ability called Webbed Feet, which means I get a boon to all swimming rolls.
There you go.
As well as
Nice.
always move at full speed in or underwater.
Yeah, right now though, like
Wow.
you guys can touch the underneath, so you're not really required anything like that. If you get into deeper water, then that's where this becomes the thing. But right now, nothing has changed. It's just like normal. You guys are just kind of like wading through this water.
Okay.
That's what this means. The goblins just keep on moving ahead, and you can see like when they get about 6 meters or so in, they hug the right side of the wall for about 6 meters. And then they start to like go to the other side about, they're like making this diagonal line like across the hall, and then they hug the other side of the wall for about 10 to 12 meters. So and you can see the goblins like looking back behind you as the torchlight kind of glimmers through the space. They're trying to make sure that you follow their exact space. They're walking in a line so you guys can see where they're walking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
And with my webbed feet, can I feel them? Are we like walking on a balance beam essentially?
essentially, yeah, it's like there's this like piece of the floor that like sticks up, and you can like feel around, and you can feel that the floor falls away to the right, and then about another like meter and a half like on the other side, the floor kind of falls away on the other side. It's much deeper
Okay.
water there. After they get you past this part, you can see that there's like a rock cave in to the right. It looks like this used to be like a four-way intersection. So on your right, you pass like a caved in rock wall, and then it looks like it goes this way to the left, and there's also like what looks to be kind of like a caved in rock area. So it used to be like this four-way intersection, and they just keep on going straight. And this time they're kind of spreading back out, almost as if like there's no threat of, you know, deeper water in this next section that they're going through. It's like they're relieved you guys made it all past the threat, and you can.
Has anyone ever tried to swim down those pits?
Are you asking the goblins?
Yeah.
No swim down. Easy for White Death to snatch you up.
I knew what this creature was. A fish?
Sea serpent.
An eel?
Maybe? Really big eel? Sharp teeth. Horns on head. Big tail.
A horned eel. Og, you're not good at biology either, are you?
What that?
Do I know of an aquatic creature with horns on its head?
Make a beast lore roll.
Must be a goat.
Oh.
We know.
Connery and Belfast.
Oscar, watch out for the deadly underwater goats.
You guys would know that there's been, like, you probably just heard, like, stories about these, I would say, kind of like underwater, like dragon-like creatures that just tunnel their way, and like they are kind of eel-like. One thing that you guys remember about them is they do have they have a weakness. They have a sensitivity to their tails that causes them to be to go a little sporadic. Belthus, you probably have heard this, like one of the stories that you have read probably as a child. It was an elven myth that if you the best way to defeat one of these terrifying creatures, these underground serpents, is to distract it so that one of your companions can get behind it and do all your damage to its tail.
The tail.
Mm-hmm.
I would share that story with my allies here. Could be a fun fight.
Well, I don't want to be bait. Who's gonna attack its tail?
Belthus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tin Man will be.
Happy to be the bait, as long as I get to look it in the eyes.
If anything, you would be the one needed to attack it in its rear. What am I going to do to it? I think our best option would be to have Connery dance and drag and do the hula.
This guy. Bad enough I'm already a mount.
Or we could just avoid the White Death completely.
I like Tinny's plan. I vote Tinny's plan. Thank you.
But what if we draw the... How close are the goblins?
Hi, let me introduce you to Belthus.
As close as you want them to be.
Gaia's going to lean down very close to Calcica and whisper to her, but what if we lure the White Death to Pinagrad? And then the White Death can deal with him in his whole army.
I don't think Margarita's underwater, so it's gonna be hard to lure White Death. You see?
I think if we get in a spot where that's possible, I'm okay with that. I prefer to lie through our teeth and get out of here quickly And if we have to fight things, I'd rather it be goblins where I stand a chance rather than in water where I will drown.
Don't you up me. It's
Yeah,
not like we can fight underwater. I mean, look at the big one. It's the giant metal rock.
he's gonna sink.
The
Exactly.
bottom where I can get to its tail.
Always a silver lining.
I think that's steel, isn't it?
Oh, here it is. If you are wearing chainmail or plate armor, you must roll every round to stay afloat in the water.
Just waiting for the point that Geyer's down on the ground and the only one who can save him is Connery, and he just goes, "Remember those jokes? See ya."
Should have invested in seamanship.
So are you guys able to see the map? What I have on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see a black screen.
Oh
Really?
wait, no, the map went away. Okay,
Tunnel.
there it is. There it is.
Tunnel.
Very small tunnel.
Is this you? Can you see that
Oh,
guy?
hey, there we are.
You should be well lit because I put a torch on you, Geyer, because you said you had a torch.
Yep.
So,
And that's all I got. I gave away my knife.
Yep.
Huh.
So can you guys see the goblins leading you?
Yep.
Okay. So basically they get to this intersection up here and they're going to go north as they turn. And they're just kind of like expecting you guys to follow. So if you guys want to move yourself, you guys can move and kind of follow on the map here because I wanted to show Twitch chat what was happening as we were kind of putting this all together. And now you can start to see there's a glimmer of light coming from ahead. And it looks like as the goblins are coming around the corner, they're starting to come up out of water. So as they move into a chamber that seems to be well lit by torchlight, and you notice that there is a massive furnace on the opposite side of the room. And you can see there is this post going across the furnace, and there is a massive orc by this post. It looks like he's turning this this crank, and this post is kind of turning, and there is a massive boar being baked in this furnace area. You can see there's two other corpses of boar that are hanging from the ceiling area, like next to the furnace. Looks like they're next on the docket to be roasted up in this furnace. Let me see if there's something else I need to tell you guys about this space before we move on. Here it is. So the furnace, it's covered with glittering runes as well that stretch from floor to ceiling, spreading its light throughout the vast mountain hall. So it's really cool to see. And it smells like, burnt flesh and burnt hair a little bit because of the boars being just roasted as they are. And you can see that gathered around a minecart in the middle of the room is where there's a group of orcs, and it seems like they were engaged in some kind of heated argument when you guys arrived. And now they all kind of turn, and you can see there's some more goblins in the room too. They all kind of turn and just kind of put their hands on their weapons as they see these other goblins, Og and the other goblins kind of moving in. You can see an individual back here standing in the farthest back. I'll go ahead and shift ping back there. An orc that looks like this, and I'm going to show you what she looks like with a handout that I have somewhere. Here it is. Show to players, show to everyone. There's what she looks like when you guys enter.
Oh,
Alrighty then.
That is her.
yeah.
And
That marmalade is past its expiration date.
The other goblins that are in the room, are any of them grub?
No.
Okay.
None of them are grub. You can see this broader-shouldered massive orc of a woman standing there. An impressive sight with such large fangs that she has, and numerous trophies and vanquished foes seem to be covering her body. She paints herself up with deep red colors, but she seems though, even though like she's looking towards you guys, seems to have like a calm demeanor about herself. She looks towards the goblins and then towards all of you, and basically just kind of directs her attention immediately away from the other goblins leading in, and then looks at all of you and says, "What's the meaning of this interruption?" And basically all the goblins and orcs are just like silent.
Guy will take a couple of steps forward and give a little bit of a half bow. Well, it is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Masquerade. We were sent your direction by a servant of yours by the name of Grub. We were able to assist in getting him away from some rather nasty undead individual, and he recommended that we come speak with you, as I am a merchant of some renown, able to travel within towns with somewhat less difficulty than your more diminutive friends. And perhaps we could work out a trade arrangement. I had some wonderful things to show you, but unfortunately, given the depths we had to travel to for them to bring me to you, I had to leave my cart a ways back, given the holes in the tunnels.
Honor's just looking at each of the individual goblins.
Okay.
I look at the goblin that he gave his dagger to.
Okay.
Show her.
The goblin's looking at you like very confused.
Dagger
The dagger?
that my friend gave you to show
Oh, yeah. That's right, yeah. Goblin gets a dagger out and starts like heading up there. And while like it doesn't even look like Maladuk is even looking at the goblin approaching at the time, it's just kind of like staring at Geyer and says, "Grub never returned." Do you know of what happened to Grub?
Heroic ability?
What's your hero? What was your heroic ability?
No, not mine.
Oh, okay.
Duck.
After you can see Guy just sort of gets a weird look in his face for a minute. We ran into Grub on outside of Riddermound. And there was looked to be a fire and smoke pouring out of the ground.
You went to Riddermound.
We were traveling past. We saw smoke. When we went over, we found an opening in the ground, smoke billowing out. Waited for the smoke to clear, and when we climbed down, we found one slightly terrified goblin screaming about some sort of undead creature with a giant sword. He climbed out and said something about running back to you. And after I told him I was a merchant, he said I should come see you. I would have assumed he was coming back to you, unless... I mean, he was scared witless. He may have failed in whatever you sent him to do. Or do you not trust him, and could he have betrayed you?
Maladuk kind of looks at the other orcs and the other goblins, and all of them just start laughing hysterically. One of the orcs like laughing, "Grub so puny." And they're just kind of like laughing about it. Maladuk like looks like she has like a little bit of a smile on her face, but doesn't like bust out into like all out laughter about it. But then kind of looks at you and says, And it kind of looks down at the goblin bringing up this dagger. The more important things to worry about now.
Than the well-being of your follower.
Well-being of all these lands.
And Guyer's going to turn and look back at Connery. And if Grub didn't return, what if Grub betrayed him? Grub may need to be dealt with at some point. We don't know yet. We parted ways. But
And I know that there's no basic core ability for insight, but do I get the feeling she's telling the truth that Grub never came back?
From what you can tell, yeah.
And I do have the heroic ability, but I got to be talking to him at least a minute before.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you could use it here if you want to spend the willpower points.
I was about to say, if we need to buy time, hey, how's the weather down here?
Okay. I'll toss it in here. So it's roll awareness to see whether or not they're being honest with us. That's a success, barely.
Ooh,
Yeah,
barely.
barely a success, yeah. Yeah, you get every instant. I mean, your gut. Yeah, she's being honest with you. Grub never came back.
Guy just sort of looking down at, and whichever goblin is closest to me that we've been traveling with, I'm just going to look over, just give him a little shove in the shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
What? Why would he tell me to come if he wasn't going to at least give warning?
Mm.
Well,
Goblin just kind of shrugs.
I wonder she's upset about the interruption. She wasn't expecting us. Gonna look back over and dear Motorcade, if I ever run into Grub, would it be okay with you if I was to punt him?
We may never see Grub again. Who knows? Grub
But
may
if
have fallen.
we do, can I kick him? Please.
No. Kicking may kill him.
Kyle just sort of.
Maladuk
Grub
kind
is so weak, isn't he?
Maladuk kind of smiles a little bit at that.
You said there were bigger things to worry about to protect all of these lands?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Is it something we should be concerned with or we could help you with? I know it's a little strange given I came attempting to barter with you, but I can't make money if something's going to happen here and we're all going to die.
Make a persuasion roll, Geyer.
Okay. That's a success.
Success.
Oh.
Maladuk kind of looks at you, and you notice this is the first time that she's taken her hand off her weapon. And looks at you and says, "Perhaps you can. I propose an alliance. An alliance between you and the people of Outskirt. In the fight against Azrael Koth. For I have fear that the demon is coming back."
Skirt, as in the town that's mysteriously been missing flour here and there.
Flower's not
You
important.
wouldn't.
Maladuk kind of looks at you confused. One of the goblins is like, "Oh, yeah, bring back food. Bring back ingredients. Bring back stuff to cook. Feed Goblin Tribe. Yeah. And they all start like smiling together and I'll like, get excited.
You
Kalska's
plan
just
to
as mad
fight
as Connery is.
Sorry.
No, I was just like, Kalska's just as mad as Connery, so while she wants to interject to help smooth this, you see her go, and then she just shuts up because she's very like, I will say the wrong thing too, and looks at Geyer and everyone else bigger than her to fix it.
Were you not aware that your underlings were stealing from Outskirt?
She kind of looks at you, looks at the goblins, and is like, goblins steal. It's kind of what they do.
Moving on from the flower.
And I'm sure if what you are proposing we can bring back to the city, I'm certain that an alliance can be reached. Goods could be shared between. I mean, we are talking about the greater good for the entire region.
I am also a very skilled hunter. If you need to acquire more food for your camp, there's more legal ways of doing it. I realize there is great prejudice against orcs and goblins, but as you said, there are greater evils that we could deal with together.
More hunters are always appreciated. She kind of gives you a little nod, Connery.
Imagine how many people can eat off of one white death.
Winks at Belthus. Like it.
You can see Geyer looking at the others in the room like,
Kalska just almost folds in half out of just like, oh no. like she gets even smaller. She's just like, oh god, we're gonna die. And crouches down.
We
Geyer's
can
gonna look
prove
at
our
you.
loyalty to you by ridding you of this beast. And then this entire... Connery kind of looks around at how crappy it's decorated. Humble abode of yours could be yours to roam freely. Free of fear.
You, points to all of you. You all,
Mainly him.
You would all destroy the White Death.
I wouldn't say destroy.
Kalska looks at Tinny. Kalska looks at Tinny like, do you have a silent spell? Do you have a silent spell? Oh my god, we're gonna die.
And she kind of looks like she's thinking, and she looks towards you, and destroying the White Death would also appease the ghost of Bothild herself.
well, perhaps we take this in a twofold approach then. You have proposed an alliance with us and the people of Outskirt. Now, while I do have faith in my very, very heavily armed and eager associates, they do sometimes find themselves lacking in the intellect department. Perhaps we should bring word of this alliance to Outskirt first. And then upon our return with their offering and the agreement, propose to take care of the White Death. This way you stand to gain either way. We come back with the ratified alliance between you and Outskirt. And then if we fail and White Death destroys us, you still have allies in Outskirt. Whereas if we go and try to take on the White Death now and fail, there is still only prejudice to Outskirt. But it would take a few days' travel each way to get there and then back to you.
The White Death continues to torment and haunt my tribe. Although this is the only place that we can find solitude, away from everyone who wants to see us destroyed. We must stand firm and stand together in order to defeat the demon Azrael Koth at all cost. And she kind of looks towards you and says, Bothild's ghost still roams these tunnels. She will not give us orcs or goblins information, but I do know that before she died, her burial chamber was constructed within these mines. Unfortunately, we don't have the keys or the knowledge to get in. She won't share it with us. But perhaps if you can talk to her, maybe she will reveal the keys to get into her treasure.
But isn't a burial chamber her place of rest? Why would we... What is the main goal of trying to get in there?
Well, unfortunately, her place of rest became the belly of the beast. But her treasure still lies within.
Connery kind of looks over at Geyer at the mention of treasure. And how exactly do you suggest we split this treasure?
Destroy the White Death? That's treasure enough for me.
So Geyer's going to take a couple of steps forwards, and again, very sort of non-threatening, give him a little sort of turn, showing he doesn't have any weapons or anything on him.
Okay.
Which literally doesn't. So, then do we have an arrangement, at least between you and your tribe, and the 5 of us for the time being, that we will depart here with your offer of an alliance with Outskirt? It will take us, if it took us 2 days and then another day to get here, so it'll take us about 3 days to get back to Outskirt, and then 3 days to return to you. Upon our return, we will then speak with Boathead's ghost and attempt to gain the information on the keys to the burial chamber for you, as well as then undertake the destruction of the sea eel creature thing, White Death. Do we have an accord? And Guy will hold out his hand towards
you can see there's a little hesitation, but then she nods and kind of takes and shakes your hand.
And the guy finished up. He's gonna turn and walk away, and then go into his pocket and find from the last time that we had dinner and going at camp, and pull out 2 very little small containers. Just a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And a small offering for you, just some minor seasoning from my camping kit while I'm on the road.
She takes it, looks at it kind of suspiciously, but takes it.
Guy will pour a little in his hand and, put it in his mouth and show for both of them, showing it's not poisoned.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, she kind of looks at it and then hands it to one of the other orcs that are standing nearby, and he grabs it and kind of looks at her and looks like they're just kind of holding on to it during this moment right now. Just
a little something if you want to. If it's difficult for you to get down in the mines, I know it can be hard to find people willing to trade. And with that, if I can borrow at least one of your tribesfolk who helped lead us in here, I'd rather not fall into the underwater bits. Is there any special greeting we should give at the gate when we return back in a few days?
She looks and says, the goblins will be aware.
And
don't worry, I memorized the knock.
With that, she kind of nods at you, and I think that's a good time for us to take our break for the evening. So we're going to break there. Hello, and thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Proficiency Bonus. Please take an opportunity to support our sponsors.
First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is an online storefront based in the Great White North of Canada. They sell everything your heart could desire, so long as everything your heart desires is largely polyhedral dice sets and other TTRPG sundries. Check them out for all of your dicey needs. Perhaps buy a lovely hardcover copy of one of these fine books. If you're feeling especially cute, you could treat yourself to a t-shirt or one of these fine little proprietary Little Dragon Corp dragon plushies. They've got all the classic types of dragon, like Mooney, Terra, Dad. Whatever strikes your fancy over on Little Dragon Corp, be sure to enter our special promo code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of your order. That's BONUS, B-O-N-U-S, for 15% off your order. That's like if you made 7 individual purchases, you could basically buy anything you want on the store, and it's like it was free with all the money that you saved from earlier. I'm absolutely positive that's how math works, and I will be taking no questions at this time. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp.
Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com.
Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Links to our social media pages and outlets are located below this video.
Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month.
While we are away, now is a great time to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and there you will find hours upon hours of content to enjoy. Click the bell icon to activate notifications so you won't miss a single show. Once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you are enjoying the show, and we'll be back in just a moment. So the same 3 goblins start leading you guys back out, as it seems like this conversation has ended. And
Wait.
yeah,
I would like to do one thing before leaving.
okay.
You've done enough.
I would like to approach Mama Kasa and
How
ask her,
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
do you have any articles of possession from Grub so that I may track him down, whether or not he has betrayed us, and either rescue him or deliver justice to him?
She looks at one of the goblins that's about ready to lead you out, and kind of looks at the goblin and says, "See if Grub's stuff remains. Give him something." And the goblin kind of just shakes its head like furiously towards. I almost want to call her Marmalade now.
I'd like to bow and Marmalade. Thank you.
Towards Maladuk, and then just kind of continues on. So it seems like they're going to try to find you something.
Gyre will just give a deep bow and follow and start heading out.
All right. You guys kind of move down all the way from this lower chamber. The goblins start leading you down that long hall towards the space where you they get to that point where you guys had to kind of weave through the hall a little bit. I would like all of you to roll a d20 for me.
Oh. Oh.
Please tell me that dragon counts for something.
Unfortunately for this roll, it doesn't.
Why do I always
'Cause-
waste dragons and the things that don't matter?
Because
I'm gonna drown. Bye.
the winner of this d20 roll was Kalsika. Kalsika, what happens is as you're walking along, the goblins are leading the way, and the floor beneath you seems to collapse while you're walking. And I need you to make an evade roll for me. As all of a sudden you're like dropping down into the water.
Gyre is getting ready to dive after her.
Oh no. Gyre, I'm gonna have you make.
Like if she's going underwater, Gyre's diving right after her to
Make a probably the only thing it's gonna be is acrobatics, huh? I mean, this is happening like super fast, so I'm gonna say make acrobatics with a bane.
Okay.
I didn't realize I was on mute the entire time.
Kalsika is swept under the water. Kalsika, you get there is a current under here, and it pushes you, and the rest of you she just disappears into the water.
I'm diving under there to find her.
Okay, it's you can feel there's a current. It's sweeping you under. There's an underwater current that's sweeping you under the wall of this cave.
Can I roll a sleight of hand to try to catch the old man's ankle?
If you want to try to stop him, sure.
Well, not stop him, but form like a human chain to try to get Kalsika,
Okay.
so I don't lose 2 people.
Yeah, this is happening very fast. I'm going to give you a bane on the roll.
All right.
Six is still a success.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Does
a really
that
good-
count? Oh, wow. I rolled. Oh, nice.
So you do grab him as you're diving into the water too. What are the rest of you doing? So now 3 of the individuals, like Kalsika fell in, Geyer dives in, and right as soon as his his webbed foot is getting out of view, Connery jumps in and grabs a hold of his ankle.
Can I cast levitate on Kalsika to try to levitate her out of the water?
Do you have to be able to see her?
Could I see her while she was falling or in the water at all?
It's now just like it happened too fast. Like boom, it's like she's gone under.
Can I make an awareness roll or something to see, so I can figure out if it's current or see where I'm going?
It's
like she's trying to orient herself.
Jostling you already. Imagine like you're in the ocean and you just got like taken under by a wave and you're just kind of like rolling under the dark water. You just feel it's extremely cold. And you're just overwhelmed by all this water. You can hear a noise that sounds like a duck screaming underwater.
I'll try to swim towards the duck sound.
Okay. You're unable to, like, this thing is like it's just pulling you. Belthus to numeral. You're just like standing there. You're seeing like the ripples in the water. The goblins are behind you. They stopped and they turn around. And one of them goes, "Uh-oh."
Anyone have rope?
No, I don't.
Old rope back in hideout.
Rope underwater.
Sir Goblin, do you know what it could be? Is this the White Death?
Could be.
Gravity?
I'm gonna pull out my sword and start stabbing the water, like, come at me!
Okay.
Fight!
You just splash at the water. You're just splashing water everywhere. You don't seem to be making contact with anything.
What if you just stabbed her?
Oh. I could bring her back up.
I love how it's her and not them. Connery, Geyer, who cares?
After a while of tumbling around, I'm gonna move your tokens to where you guys end up. Kalsika, Connery, and Geyer. And then I'll keep you guys come up here. As all of a sudden the current like lets you guys loose, and you are able to kind of swim up and take a breath out from the cold water. To numeral and Belthus, you guys are. I'll put the goblin with the light near you so you guys can still see, hopefully.
Thanks.
Bright light for this, and we'll give it a little dim light on the outside. This probably isn't the correct amount of light that I'm putting out here, but so here's where you guys are located.
Okay.
As you guys come out of the water, you notice a blue glow within this chamber. You guys cannot touch the ground. You guys are treading water right now in this room. There is a figure floating above the surface of the water, and I will show you what she looks like. Here's what she looks like.
Oh.
And she's kind of just like floating there, just sifting back and forth. This what appears to be some kind of dwarven woman with this terrible wound on her neck. Looks like her
mustache.
Is that you, Bartholomew?
You're not here, Con.
No, Connery
I
went
thought I
with
was in the water.
Yeah, Connery is here. Yeah, Connery,
Yeah,
Connery,
in the water.
Geyer, and Kalsika. Yeah.
I still got Geyer by the foot.
Wait, so this is by them, not us?
That's just by us.
Yeah, we're treading water.
Oh, I was confused.
Yeah, they're treading water in some other chamber, and it's like this mist-filled, watery room. It's very deep here. And she kind of looks at you as she's just looking over and saying, "I'm so bored."
Why are your bullets in here?
Kalska's gonna swim closer to her.
What? Okay, you swim closer. Yeah.
Just so, trying to kind of draw her eye towards me since I was the one that fell down first.
Okay. Why have you come here? There's nothing to do here.
Nothing to do in this room, or nothing to do in the entire mine?
Nothing to do. It's so boring here.
You want to play a game?
What game?
Well, first, I'm not a very good swimmer. Is there anywhere I can stand in this room?
This room is very deep. This room is actually much deeper. This is the root to the heart of the mine. It leads down to the lower levels.
Is there anything down in the deep?
Only the White Death.
Hopefully.
So that's what you call it too.
Mm-hmm. Any more games? I'm so bored.
Well, there's a couple games we could try, but I have a question. You're Bothild, right?
I was once called that, yes.
And do you want to leave here?
Absolutely. Every time I try to leave, I cannot.
I have a question that might be mean, and I promise I'm not trying to be mean. Pinky promise, and she'll like tread water with one arm and her feet kicking like crazy.
Bothild kind of looks at you and is like, "Pinky promise," and goes like right through your pinky, like so just passes through.
So she understands. You know that the water flooded everything, and you're a ghost, right?
Yes, unfortunately, I do.
I just didn't want to be the one to break the bad news.
No.
Do you, okay, second maybe rude question. I don't know what's rude and what's not. I'm sorry. Do you know where your body is in all of this?
In the belly of the White Death.
Like literally in its belly, or like in his den belly?
Literally in his belly. He ate me. Swallowed me whole.
Oh,
That explains the.
okay.
But my axe though.
Where's your axe? Do you need that to
in
leave?
its belly?
Do you need the axe to leave?
I don't think. Maybe?
Then what do you need to leave?
If you...
Perhaps redemption.
Oh no. Okay, we have two friends that are really good at helping with things.
Yes. You're gonna need more friends.
Did you control the water and bring us here?
No. I can't control the water.
It was just bad luck then.
She kind of ponders that for a moment. It's like, I would call it good luck.
Can you physically touch things?
If I try very hard.
Well, I have a game for you. It's called Fetch.
Fetch? Yeah, what am I fetching?
Oh, no, not you. You throw something and I'll fetch. It's fun that way. It's funner that way. It's much funner that way. You should try it. Throw something. Throw.
What am I throwing?
I don't know. Anything.
Throw
She,
a
like,
rock
She
under
looks
the water.
She looks all around, and there's like nothing to like grab a hold of other than you guys.
Sorry. I got excited. Anywho.
If you stick with us and maybe help us somehow with fighting it, maybe that's your redemption. If you're there when we kill it. If we can kill it. I think we can kill it. I think Belthus can kill it.
As long as we can get it out of the water.
How about this? The orcs and the goblins, those hideous creatures. They've been trying to inquire about my treasure. How about you get my redemption? Kill the White Death, bring me proof, and I will reveal how to enter my treasure room.
Gaia's gonna look up at her. And killing the White Death would be a rather difficult task. What is within this treasure room that I'm assuming where you are the ruler of this area? It must be quite something.
If you are worthy enough to avenge my death, to destroy the White Death, that will prove to me that you're worthy to know and worthy to gain access to my treasure.
Yeah, I was gonna stroke his beard a little bit and then look back up. Perhaps a small example as a token of good faith. As again, as you are, as my young friend here said, no longer among the realm of the living, it is apparent that this White Death is rather deadly. And going into it with not an idea of what the reward is, even just a small inkling of an idea would be appreciated. It would help aid my other two compatriots who did not take the cold plunge to sway them to aid us with this.
What is it that you seek?
I am but a humble merchant. I trade goods between cities, individuals. But one of our journeying companions is a proud and righteous knight. Wields his shield and sword in protection of a frail and helpless elven maiden.
A former knight of the Dragon Emperor?
I believe he is too young to be specifically have served the Dragon Emperor, but we have not discussed his lineage, so I do not know how to answer that one. But I know he holds to the ideals of knighthood.
Well, perhaps if he is, he would be interested to know that a forgotten lost relic resides somewhere in this mine. Perhaps I might be able to tell you where it is. If you destroy the White Death. She smiles.
And Gaia gives a little nod. I am quite certain that will definitely sway the others. Assuming we can find our way back.
I was just gonna ask, these are your mines. We were with our friends near where there's a big furnace set up, and we were leaving that room when we fell into the current. Can you tell us how to get back there so we can go get our friends, we can go kill the White Death, so we can prove that we're worthy, so we can do all the things?
Yes, just head down the South Hall. You'll eventually meet up with them.
I'm just kind of treading water, staring at the two that are in the water with me. So, still think killing White Death is a bad idea?
Considering I nearly died getting to this room, yes, Conry, I do.
Still, giving them the I told you so look.
Belthus and Tenumeral.
Geyer's just leaving.
All of a sudden, coming through the wall coming out of the wall to the eastern side of you, you see this blue form floating and just goes through the wall, coming out of the wall towards you, and it floats, and you see the goblins all like looking, and like they stop and hesitate. Like you can see that they recognize this ghostly form that's coming towards you, but they're still like real skittish around it.
Our friends are already haunting us for failing to.
And Kalsika and all, as soon as you guys come around that corner, you guys see Bothild's ghost like down the hallway from where you guys were, and she's just kind of like gesturing towards you.
I'll move
pointing
up
in the
to
directions, pointing in the direction of your friends.
Mr. Geyer, I think we have to go this way.
Geyer's looking around, doesn't see anybody.
They're gone.
Kalska swims after Geyer and goes, Mr. Geyer. She went the other way.
Oh. I thought this was the way out.
She went south out of that room that we were in.
Bothild's ghost like floats over here near to Numeral and Belthus. Is like, this is finally something exciting has happened. I think I found your friends.
She's cool.
Are they alive?
Kalska's like barely above the water. She's cool.
Barely.
Oh. Thank you.
I died.
Geyer's making ghostly noises around the corner.
Geyer takes out some coins, trying to rattle it like chains.
It was a brave mallard.
Did we lose Conry? Oh well, must have swam down.
What?
He'll find us.
Doggy paddle.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're alive.
Can we can stand here now?
Right where you're at right now, you can stand. You guys see how there's like a little bit of darker water on that map?
Yeah.
That's the dark
That
parts.
darker water is deeper water. So
Okay.
the really light blue is like shallow. So you guys can stand there.
Tinny, Belthus, we gotta go make our deal and do what we gotta do. And but Kalska's not even looking at her friend, she's looking at Bothild. And is just like...
Bothild kind of floats over near Belthus and is like admiring Belthus's armor. And,
Excuse you?
Just kind of looking over. And kind of like looks at you a little closer, sees you got like the pointy elf ears, and is a little bit, backs off a little bit. Dwarves and elves, they just have a little bit of conflict in the past, and
Henry comes around the corner and finally joins the group, looking kind of disappointed.
As Conry puts that disappointed look on his face, all of a sudden the water in the deeper end splashes up with this massive flourish, and this massive head comes up and grabs one of the goblins that's standing on this side and just pulls the goblin down into the water. Imagine the scene in Deep Blue Sea If you've ever seen that movie with Samuel L. Jackson, like talking, and then all of a sudden the shark comes up, just grabs and pulls him under. That's what happens here in this moment. And I'm going to show you. I'll show you a glimpse of what this thing looked like when it came up out of the water, as I put this on the token layer very fast.
I'm gonna dive towards the goblin, but knowingly miss, of course.
It just come up and it grabbed the goblin. You heard another goblin like scream in terror, and then all that's left is a little sword going into the water, and it like immediately goes back under the water and disappears. And this goblin is no longer there.
It's glorious.
I don't think I'd call it that.
Which goblin was it that went down?
It wasn't Og.
Damn it.
Yeah, Og has his magic. He can direct this to eat other goblins.
Watch it be the injured one, the one that you almost killed already.
No, that was a different one.
No, he stayed back in the goblin
He was
room.
Okay.
These goblins, the two that are left, look at each other in terror for a moment, and then they start like running, like towards the way they came in. Like there's.
And Geyer's gonna take suit following them.
All right, you guys continue to run. Bothild's like, "Oh, this is so much fun," and is like just floating behind you guys.
I like to cast light.
Okay. Oh yeah. Where are you casting it on?
It's for my focus.
Oh, so it's like illuminating from your amulet that you're wearing?
Yeah, evidently you can't attach it to anything but your focus, so.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. So you guys see the light. You guys make your way back to the beginning where the goblins are running, and they're running in terror. And you guys pop back out in the main area where all the goblins are gathered together. Well, there would be one missing now. There we go.
There is.
And another one bites the dust.
Why does one of the goblins have a peppermint?
What?
Look at the one right above Geyer's head. It looks like he's got like a peppermint or a
Piece of bread, I think.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it does look like a peppermint.
that's bread. Remember how they were eating bread at the camp? I just like grabbed all their tokens and pulled them over here, so it still had the bread in its hand.
Oh my god,
That's what it was.
that bread has gone bad by now.
Oh yeah, that's moldy dry bread. I'm gonna get rid of the bread.
So Geyer's gonna look and say, Conry, please get what you need. We're leaving.
I look at the goblins.
They're shaking in their shoes. They're super soaking wet from being in the water. And the one kind of like looks over and they're like, and they kind of hurriedly go over. You see them go over to the corner where there's just like this old, like, looks like just a piece of leather that was probably somebody's bedroll. It's dirty and has holes in it. It's ripped up. They kind of go through and one of them kind of like tears a piece off and brings it back over to you, Connery, and hands it to you.
Eerily, two-hand huff.
Oh, it smells so bad. It reeks.
And I kind of just look at the piece of leather and whisper to myself, I'm gonna find you.
Oh my god.
Mr. Geyer, I'm a little creeped out.
You know, there was a famous bard who once said, wherever you go, I'll be watching you. And I think he was talking about Conry.
Wasn't that Sting?
Yes.
Sting the Bard, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard him. I heard him in concert one time.
Yes, he was singing a song about creepy people who follow them and stalk them.
I remember that. The police were there too.
I thought they were called guards. Oh, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But
We
seems like the
should go.
goblins are all kind of there. They like look at you. You can tell they don't like 100% trust you, the goblins here, but they don't like. Not all of them have been there and were at the conversation that you guys had, so they're just kind of like standing around wondering what's going on. So,
Right.
Guy's just gonna reach over and grab one of the soaking wet ones. I'm very sorry about your friend there. We are bringing word to outskirt of the Alliance. We should be back in about 6-7 days. I know that your illustrious leader, McLeod, said that everyone would be aware, but please keep an eye out. I'd rather not get stuck full of arrows on our way back.
Yeah, the one that's still kind of soaking wet from being there. Okay, yeah, hurry, come, help us kill White Death.
Yes, that is in the plans. Just have to make sure the Alliance goes through first, because if we fail, we still want the Alliance to be on for everyone.
Good. They seem to just like shake their heads in agreement.
Means outskirts off limits.
Make a persuasion roll.
Not good.
I'm gonna stand next to Belthus and look for the one that I stabbed and glare at him.
One of them looks at you and says, "Yeah, outskirt off limits."
You would
I
steal
trust
from
his
your
honor.
allies.
Goblins kind of just all look at each other. They seem confused by that question.
I'll remember that when we bring back food.
That's right, we did. Guy's gonna look at one of the ones who's soaking wet, the one that he just grabbed. And say, do me a favor, come with me.
Okay.
And bring him out to the cart.
Okay.
Go into the barrel of the dried meats and whatnot.
Oh, I thought this was going in the direction of Old Yeller.
And going to pull out basically 10 days worth of rations.
Okay.
Which will leave us enough to get back to outskirt.
Okay.
And basically just say and help bundle and bring it in and be like, yeah, in payment for part of our new alliance. Something for you and the others.
You took one goblin out?
I brought one out to sort of give most of it to him and help.
Yeah, that goblin immediately starts like hiding it in his clothes.
Don't hide all of it.
Why? I get hungry.
Because we're gonna bring better food back, and if you're eating all the rations, you're not gonna get any of the good new food.
Okay.
Fine. Hi.
Me keep these two for me.
Okay, yes, you can take those and help me bring the others in for everyone.
Yeah.
Then Kyra will come back in with the remaining 8 days worth of rations.
Kalsika, you're starting to realize that goblins steal from each other. They steal from everybody. It doesn't matter if they're allies. They only know how to steal from each other.
Kalsika's just like, I steal, but I don't take from people that are helping me. So at least I have a better code than goblin.
When Geyer comes back, Connery's over in the corner sniffing up that torn up leather bedroll.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. What do you guys want to do?
You guys ready to roll? Ready to go? I'm on trail.
Back to outskirt.
I'm not worried about Grub right now.
Yeah. Same.
Well, we're not going out of our way. I just want to see if he's along the way.
Guess we'll head back to outskirt and try to convince them to ally with the people that have been making their lives miserable.
This is going to be interesting, especially where they have no centralized government.
Yeah.
Such is the journeys of an adventurer.
I think I have solved that problem. The four of you shall install me as its rightful
I was
ruler.
just thinking, can we elect you, Mr. Geyer? I was literally just thinking that.
Governor Geyer has a great ring to it.
That's how I happen
With
to
the
like
town
this.
guard in the sheet for you.
And we can turn it into a sort of a merchant state.
Boring.
I heard of this thing. Typically, it deals more with seas, but perhaps something like an East India trading company.
As you guys are having this conversation, I imagine you just like rolling out of this place on your cart. The goblins like let you go freely as you guys are starting to move towards your next destination. I would like somebody to roll a d10 for me. Go ahead, it's numeral. Roll a d10 for me if you could.
Oh no. What do I think they're about to cook my donkey?
Donkey's on the cart and the dogs are with us. It's fine.
Usually Calcia's the group roller. Oh.
Did I type
Is either
it
really
right?
good or really bad.
It looks like you typed it
It
right.
looks like you typed it right. Yeah, it looks like it worked.
Just want to make sure I didn't type like roll a 10.
The ground rumbles and shakes for just a moment. And miles away, you guys can see what looks like even like the mist. Even with the mist, you can still see the dragon fang peaks to the far north. Like, the Misty Vale is big, but it's not enormous by any means. Like, you can travel from one end to the other end of it in like a week or so. But despite this, you see like this massive orange glow that seems to like overtake the mist in the sky for just a moment. You guys all get the idea, all get the feeling that a volcano of some sort has erupted in the Dragonfire Peaks. And you're seeing like this orange massive glow of what could be the explosion that took off from way to the north. And if you felt the rumble in the ground all the way down here.
That can't be good.
That's not good.
Do we know of any civilizations in that direction?
The only thing that you were told about that direction is, I think it was the mystic in the town when he was talking about the Isle of Mists, or the Mirror Lake that he was talking about. That's the only place that you would know is more towards the north currently.
Okay, so we don't know of any city named Pompeii.
No.
Okay.
Didn't the bar lady mention something about Lead being up north? Can't remember.
Azrael Koth resided at a fortress on Mirror Lake.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the burial chambers that way.
Ooh.
And that's okay. Oh.
Yep. Din's wrong.
And it shook the entire realm. So if the White Death's down here, does that mean that's the Red Death?
Death in every direction.
Where's that button? Where's the room shot?
So, are you guys... Oh, there's he did a double take. So, are you guys... Is that your goal right now, is to travel all the way back to Outskirt for the couple of days?
Yeah.
Unless someone's got a better idea that does not involve killing a dragon.
Trying to negotiate their alliance with the Orcs and Goblins.
Mr. Geyer,
Yes.
do we need to actually get them to agree to an alliance or appear to agree to an alliance and then at the same time tell them exactly where Maladuk is hiding and they can get all their forces and come back us up after we return and then they can just wipe them out if we don't survive? Give them all the information we can on the mines and everything there to defend their home.
We'll have to speak with that Captain, what's his name? Captain Harkonnen, right?
Hardy?
I can't remember.
Captain.
I'm
Captain
old.
Hardy.
Give me a break.
But if we wipe them out, then they won't be able to assist us against the greater foe.
Well, I'm just saying, if we can't get them to agree to an alliance, we can give them the information that we have, but they could sign a piece of paper saying, we agree, so that the goblins buy it, and Maladuk buys it, and we can pretend everything long enough to get the treasure, get the... Ooh, Tinny, Belthus. Forgot to tell you guys, because we were around the goblins. The treasure isn't only treasure. Said a broken artifact was down there. And what do we all know that is broken that we are looking for?
Oh.
Now, I want you both to keep in mind.
My
We have
heart.
to kill the White Death and do all these other things first.
No, I was just going to say she said down there. It's somewhere underwater.
Oh yeah, that's a problem too. Oof.
I am a master at doggy paddling.
I have no faith in you. I will swim circles around you.
Fair.
But if it's deep enough, all we have to do is drop Belthus and you just...
Sink right to the bottom. Or I can stand on 2 feet and fight.
And that's when the rope comes in handy. We just pull it right back.
Pull right back out. There you go.
All right.
I have fears with this, but perhaps we can get Tenumeral's knife fixed.
Mm.
Or
Yeah, we need a...
if they're unable to fix it, perhaps I know she said she has difficulty with metal. I'm sure they can do something like a nice antler or bone if they're unable to work with her materials.
Until we can get the other one fixed.
Oh, we would have to find someone capable, and I don't know of any other civil settlements within the Misty Vale currently, but there might be some out there.
Belthus, you said you might be able to give it a shot if you could access some of the tools, right?
Some of the tools. Yeah, it's worth a try. That would be back at Outskirt as well.
Yes, I'm sure we can convince the smithy to allow you a little bit of access.
Sounds good.
You'll just have to, forswear any mumbo jumbo with his equipment.
Well, I'm
At least
ready.
Flower back.
Yes,
We
and
can
we'll
go
be
back to
returning Mr. Hogshankles, or whatever his name is, his flower.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys, because of the scared goblins and rushing out of there, you guys were able to kind of get the flower out of there without anybody mentioning anything about it. With some ease, thanks to the White Death's sudden appearance.
I'm glad nobody died. That was scary.
That
I thought
What do you
was
mean nobody
maybe
died?
about to go down.
Legitimately was
poor
taking my back
goblin
surgery.
devoured in
The
one bite.
poor innocent goblins died right before your very eyes.
Let's get back to Outskirt where there's at least fresh food.
And you guys continue your journey back towards Outskirt. It'll take a few days. Just do a little information for skipping ahead. I'm not gonna I know you guys are adventuring out, but you're headed back to Outskirts, so I'm not going to make you guys do like the rolls for camping and all that. We're going to skip that as we do this little time skip. But I think that is a good place for us to end this episode of Dragonbane for the evening.